Thanks for tuning to the ReShard show today. We have a very special guest. She's an independent artist. She's done some R&B stuff. She's doing the Christian thing now from Central Florida. Uh, Me personally, I discovered her music like back in Tallahassee, Florida, at Tallahassee Nights Live. Big shout out to Donkey and the crew as well. But she's here with us today. She's going to share some stories behind the songs she just recently released and more. We have the one, the only Jocelyn Hart. How you doing, Jocelyn?
I'm doing good. Great intro.
I was trying to give one of Steve Harvey things.
Ah.
Yeah, show your love thing. But like I
Mhm.
said, definitely appreciate you sharing your time. I know, like I said before, you could have been doing something else, but you're here with us, so we definitely appreciate you.
Yeah.
So just to break the ice course, this uh, one of the first times you've been on the show. Hopefully, we could bring on some more as you release music. But who's Jocelyn the person outside the music?
Outside of the music.
Hmm.
Outside of the music, Jocelyn is a wife. Jocelyn is a mommy. Jocelyn is a creator, you know, outside of the music. I have a little son. He turned 3 November of last year. And so I've been in mommy mode for the past 3 years, heavy. So that my wonderful husband, we've been married for 5 years now. And so all of the family things, Jocelyn's into the family vibe at the moment. But outside of music, it's family, it's creativity of all types. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And as we mentioned, you grew up in Central Florida, so you know, I'm as you know, I'm originally from Tallahassee, Florida. But
Mhm.
everybody's Florida experience is different, as they say. Some people even say Florida's not a real place because we always on the social media memes, all these different places. But what was your experience like growing up in Florida?
I love Florida. I'm a country girl at heart. I'm from a small town, Lakeland, Florida,
Yeah.
Central Florida. And so yeah, country living.
Hmm.
Um the city has grown a lot since I've,
Hmm.
grown up. When I was little, the city is not what it used to be. So
Hmm.
I'm loving that. And but when I was a child, I loved Florida. I had family that lived down south. I
Hmm.
didn't really get into up north Tallahassee area until I graduated and went to college, which I absolutely
Hmm.
love that area. Got so
Hmm.
many memories, literally like my second home
Hmm.
in the Tallahassee area. But Florida for me was country living.
And you talk about country living. I gotta ask you. So she said you you about that country life. So I gotta ask, like I gotta, because everybody got a country level. Like with
hmm
me, I don't eat the chitlins, I don't eat the possums, raccoons, no something. What'd you say about those type of things?
So I was definitely around all of those. But me for myself, no, I'm not gonna eat the chitlins. But on Thanksgiving, you know, might have been some chitlins there.
Hmm.
Every now and then we might have some raccoon or,
Hmm.
some gator. It's definitely prevalent.
Yeah,
But I'm
yeah,
not gonna say that I was the one partaking.
yeah. Because I know when I was growing up, when those I guess dinner nights happen. I said, nah, I'm gonna pass. I just do the peanut butter jelly sandwiches. You know,
Yeah.
then you got people like Doc. Doc D, he would eat that kind of stuff. Back then, I don't know if he eat it now, but he's one of my cousins, but he'll eat that kind of stuff. So that's why I says levels to being in the country.
Listen though, it's something about the smell of chitlins that just
Yeah, I'm
woo,
good.
it's an acquired smell.
Yeah, I'm good on
But
that.
some people grandma know how to hook them up real good. So,
Hmm. They would say, put some hot sauce on. No, I'm good.
hmm
I'm good on that. But of course, you attended uh, Florida State University Seminoles. Uh,
go
I'm a
knows.
Gator. I'm a Gator,
Oh
and
my goodness.
and,
Why? Why?
and a family Rattler. So I gotta ask, what made you choose Florida State over? As you mentioned, you're from Central Florida, so of course you had UCF. You had South Florida right there. Of course, if
Yeah.
you want to go down south, you had University of Miami. So, but what was so special about Florida State?
Well, at the time, I had a cousin who was starting on a football team there.
Mm-hmm.
He's a few years older than me. And
Mm-hmm.
so he was kind of really pretty set up there.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I graduated, it was almost like, hey, come up here. We already got, I'm already pretty established up here. And so when
Mm-hmm.
I moved up, it wasn't like I was just moving into a new territory.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really the main push, is just because I had a cousin that was playing for Florida State. So I was like, oh, wow, I applied for Florida State, got in, and just having that family member, that cousin that knew the land of,
Mm-hmm.
and to navigate it. That's really why I moved to Tallahassee. Once I moved there, though, it ended up being like one of the best decisions because, like I say, like Tallahassee literally is like second home. Like all my
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
kinfolk that's not really your kinfolk, they up there in
Yeah,
Tallahassee.
indeed, indeed. Once you become friends so many years, you become family. So
Mhm.
yeah, because I know this question is probably going to end up coming up at some point. Who was your cousin that played for Florida State?
His name is Kendrick Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
What years did he play? I don't know the exact years. When I came up there, it was 2009. He had already been up there maybe a couple years prior.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's doing really good now. He was in Central Florida. He
Mm-hmm.
was the head coach of a couple of really prominent schools here. He still is. I forget the name of the school he's at now, but his name was Kendrick Stewart.
Okay, because I know the sports junkies, they're going, who's the cousin? Go try to go back in. They're gonna be
What's
hitting me
up,
up.
K Stu? If you watch this.
Yeah, so big shout out to him. He's a great player and a great coach as well. So big shout out to him. And transitioning to the music, like what inspired you to get into music? Was a family member, was growing up in the church, or like what inspired
Well, I've always been singing since I was a little girl.
you?
Definitely grew up in the church. And the
Hmm.
way my parents work is you're not just going to go to church, you're going to serve in some type of way. So
Hmm.
I was in the children's choir. And I guess that's where it really started, in
Hmm.
realizing, oh, girl, you actually really have a voice.
Hmm.
I started to notice that I was a lot different than the others that were on the team. Like you can start to tell when you can actually sing and when you just hear because your mom and them
Yeah.
said you need to be on in the choir.
Yeah.
When you're able to start to help the choir director, then
Hmm.
you might know a little something. So that was
Hmm.
where the beginnings of it was. And then from there I end up going to a school of the arts here, which was Harrison School of the Arts, for
Hmm.
chorus. And I got vocal training and theory and classical training, all those type things for those 4 years. That's where it started.
And as you was talking, I thought of another question to ask. Um, when you started, I guess giving advice or suggestions to the choir director, did it just come out naturally, or did you feel hesitant? Because I know with me, like as I got more knowledge and came back home to Tallahassee, I'm like, oh, y'all still stuck here.
Yeah.
I tried to share some of that information, but I was kind of hesitant because I didn't want to, step on anybody's toes. So, what was your experience like?
Yeah, it was definitely moments of not wanting to step on the choir director's toes.
Hmm.
Uh, our choir director was actually my best friend's mom, and she's
Okay.
really prominent in singing as well.
Hmm. Hmm.
But it was just little things, like I knew how to pick out parts.
Hmm.
We're sitting here trying to learn a new song, and we're going over this one part over and over and over, ear training, and we don't hear the alto part, but I hear it. So I'm just gonna
Hmm.
let y'all know this is what it is. It was a lot of things like that. Um, yeah,
Okay. Yeah, because I know with me, I was like, ooh, like they'd be like, yeah, let's move on to the next song. So I'd be like, yeah, that's not quite right.
yeah,
Like, because like you said, you can hear like, because with me, I can hear the voice, I can hear the instrument. So it's like if we're not hearing like the
yeah.
record, it irks my soul.
hmm And back then I was a kid, so it was just
Yeah.
like starting it. That was the realization that wow, like you actually are good at this. Like this
Hmm.
is a gift from God.
Hmm.
So I think, yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And of course, how would you describe? the Jocelyn Hart, sound in your own words?
Oh, I'm still trying to figure that out. Like, I don't know how to put it in words.
Mm-hmm.
A while ago, I did a poll though on Instagram, and I said, how does my music make you feel? A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people said peaceful. A lot of people said calm. A lot of people said uh, the presence of the Holy Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still trying to figure it out. I used to put myself in the category of a jazzy type feel.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's flares of the R&B. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just a vibe. I don't know what the name of the vibe is just yet.
I guess you can call it the J Hart sound.
The J Heart sound, period. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. As I mentioned, my discovery of you was through TNL back in the day.
Hmm.
But how would you like looking back from where you started at, in the beginning to now? How would you, I guess, describe your journey so far? Are you satisfied, or do you feel like you should be further along? How do you feel?
At this stage, I'm very much so satisfied
Hmm.
because with where I am now, everything makes sense. The path to get to where I am now. There
Hmm.
were moments years ago where in my head, I thought that the trajectory was, girl, you're gonna be this like mega singer somewhere, like
Hmm.
you're gonna be like a star, like fame and all those type of things. Um, but as I navigate the journey and I land where I am now, it all makes sense. Like that life is not God, that wasn't the life that God desired for me. And right now I'm at more of a realization that and how can I say this? I'm more sensitive to the fact that this is a gift from God.
Hmm.
And because it's a gift from God, you need to give it back to him. So how are you giving it back to him? How is that looking? And so I'm very like sensitive about that now. And I realize had my life been on the trajectory that I thought it was gonna be on with all the
Hmm.
fame and all of the stuff, oh Lord, I'd probably been lost out there somewhere. Just that one for me.
But people, I would say, it's still a possibility to be a household name, and
Yeah,
still, I think you could be a household name, but as long as you have discipline, you'll be okay. Because I think
yeah.
with some people, even some artists I know, they made it to the quote unquote mainstream, and they just kind of lost themselves. They forgot where they came from and all these different things. But like I said, if you remain humble and stay hungry, you should be okay.
And I think for me too is that had those things happened back then, I definitely would have been lost because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the woman that I was back then. I
Mm-hmm.
was ratchet. We just gonna say it like it is. Sis was ratchet back in them 20s. And so like when you grow and you evolve, that's
Mm-hmm.
why I say like everything is divine, nothing is by coincidence. This
Mm-hmm.
path and the process, the journey to get to where I am now is the journey that God desires. And so if he in the future desires me to be a household name or some sort of notoriety in that way, I feel like I'm in a way better place than I would have been back then because I
Mm-hmm.
know who's and who I am. I know who gave me this gift and my focus is to give it back to him and build his kingdom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Then of course, you've had some bangers over the years, like "Used to," "Summer Love," "Forever," amongst others. Like, when did you know it was time to transition to like the Christian R&B?
Oh, so back in like 2022, I would say like my project that I released called Falling, that was
Mm-hmm.
the transition.
Mm-hmm.
At that time I had just had my son and I had really bad postpartum. And I
Mm-hmm.
also had like the pregnancy itself wasn't the smoothest.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a lot of transition and moving pieces that was going on around that time. And
Mm-hmm.
in that time, my relationship with God cultivated in a way that it was almost like I had no desire to put out music or talk about anything that I felt had no substance. And the
Mm-hmm.
best substance to me is the word of God. So it's just like, how can I still talk about and be relatable to real life things that we all go through, whether we are a believer or not,
Mm-hmm.
but still use and infuse biblical principles within real life situations. And so that was a transition for sure. 2022 when I released my project Falling. The first two projects that I had that I put out, those were definitely in a different season.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course, you just recently released Still, two amazing songs, but one, as I mentioned to you before, that's really been people been blowing up. Like, hey, can you play this as He Won't Fail? Like, what's the story behind He Won't Fail?
Oh, the story behind He Won't Fail.
Mm-hmm.
2025 was a really, really rough year for me,
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of different ways. I actually put out a testimony video the top of the year, just kind of explaining everything that I went through and the process of me getting to where I am now. And within that
Mm-hmm.
time, He Won't Fail was birthed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it was through suffering
Mm-hmm.
and learning to suffer well that He Won't Fail was birthed. And it probably, will I know that it came from God, and I know that because it came from God, it has or it must resonate with others because it's raw, it's real,
Mm-hmm.
it's authentic. Like so many people are in these spaces. Just because you see a person don't mean you know what they're going through. And
Mm-hmm.
some people, a lot of people are going through a lot. And so having that reassurance that God is still faithful, He is still with you, He will not fail. Think about all the times, all the things that you went through previously, and you're here now. Think about the
Mm-hmm.
fact that it's 2026. That means you got
Mm-hmm.
through all of the things that you went through in 2025. That means He sustained you. He will not
Mm-hmm.
fail. Yeah.
Amen. Amen. So we come to the part. I'm not sure if they call it in Central Florida or not, but Tallahassee used to call it getting into the Kool-Aid. But promise no ratchet questions, I promise.
Okay.
All right. But even if you don't want to answer, just say pass, okay?
Okay.
So the first one I have for you, what is the biggest accomplishment, one in your personal life, two in your music career so far?
Oh. Dang. One in my personal. I can't say two in my personal.
Yeah,
Oh.
you can.
Okay. I can't choose between my husband and my son. Like those are, without my husband, my son is not here, So
Correct. Yeah.
I think my two biggest accomplishments personally was becoming a wife
Mm-hmm.
and then also becoming a mother. I
Mm-hmm.
still look at my son to this day and be like, oh my God, I'm your mama, little boy. Like, so personally,
Well,
music wise,
before you answer the music part of it, what has being a spouse and a parent taught you about yourself?
um, ooh, it has taught me that I am way more stronger than I think,
Mm-hmm.
that I am a super, super organized person.
Mm-hmm.
What else has it taught me? It has taught me, with my son particularly, it has shown me um, the care that a son needs from his mom.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for my husband, it has taught me, what can I say? For my husband, it has taught me how to navigate and love a person in every season.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even before we got married and dating, but when you are truly committed and then you commit before God, it's like, seasons and phases of life don't stop. Like just
Mhm.
because you found your person, it's just now you have a
Mhm.
person to go through with it. So
Yes.
it has, it has taught me just how to be the best partner for someone
Mhm.
else, and no longer thinking of things as self. Like it's us. Like
Mhm.
whenever decisions need to be made, is what are we doing? Like
Mhm.
I can never think of anything moving forward of just me. It's always,
Mhm.
well, let me talk to my husband about that.
Yeah.
Like it's just natural. So yeah.
And I gotta ask, since you just said that, as you was saying that, I thought about how some people, like when they first get married, let me talk to my husband, let me talk to my wife. Were you one of those people? Like you're so excited to be married, so you just start throwing that every single thing.
Nah, that wasn't really my vibe. Like I wasn't really like that. But I will say it like now him on the other hand, he would
Mhm.
say sometimes that if someone like would invite him somewhere and he
Mhm.
necessarily didn't really want to go, but he didn't want to say
Mhm.
no, he might say, "Oh, let me talk to my wife about that. We'll see." I say, "Don't be using me for you to say no."
Yeah, I think that's the biggest what's it called, scapegoat there. I think that's
I
one of the
said,
biggest
"That ain't
things
gonna
that a lot of people started try to use to get out of stuff. So
Let me talk to my wife. Let me talk to my husband. We'll see."
hmm hmm yeah, yeah, for sure. And then when it comes to your music, what's the biggest accomplishment you had so far?
um, hmm, um, I would say my biggest accomplishment, and it's not necessarily growth wise, but I think my biggest accomplishment is that I made the switch from secular type music
Hmm
to Christian R&B, and I say
hmm
that just because we are responsible for souls, like
hmm
and I don't want to get to the gates and God say all of the music that you put out, it
Yeah.
didn't bring people closer to me. It didn't bring
hmm
people to relationship with me, so I want to just make sure that I am stewarding well. So I think that's the biggest thing because I feel like it's literally the biggest thing when it's all said and done, when we're no longer here, what
hmm
impact is left.
hmm
So that's my biggest, I think, for music.
All right. And we're about to dig a little deeper to the Kool-Aid. We're gonna get some of the red drink now. But
Okay.
when you look back over your life, from the time you was a kid to your present, what do you consider to have been like one of your biggest obstacles you had to face to really? Oh, sorry. Let me rephrase that. What has been the biggest obstacle you had to face, and you really had to exercise your faith to get through it?
Mm, mm. Jesus. Oh man. I'll try to pick which one. There's this major obstacle I had to get through when I was in high school.
Hmm
But then there was a recent obstacle I had to get through in 2025. So I'm like, which one? Um,
Whichever one you feel comfortable sharing, or if you want to share both, it's fine.
So the most recent one I talked about in my testimony video. So if you
Hmm
would like to listen or know more about that one, then I
hmm
suggest you guys head over to my YouTube channel, I Heart
hmm
Jocelyn, and go look
hmm
at my testimony video to get
hmm
that. So I'll talk about high school. I
hmm
mentioned that I went to a school of the arts,
hmm
and I would say out of a choir of about 60 to 70, there was maybe three or four blacks, and I was one of them.
Wow.
And so that was really heavy and hard to navigate. This was also a season where we were introducing the very first black president.
hmm
And a lot of people were not excited or happy about that at all.
Correct.
And because of that, naturally, some people take it out on others that look
Yeah.
like um, President former President Obama. And so I dealt with a lot of like racial things. I never forget, like, there was this Halloween party that the school was throwing, and there was this one girl in particular. She was like, she came up to me and she said, "Jocelyn, you're gonna love my outfit or my
Mm.
costume." And I'm just like, "Oh, okay." And so later that evening when we get there, her costume was that she got the darkest makeup she could get and
Wow.
she covered it all over herself, and she said she was
Blackface.
black,
Wow.
as if she was as if being black was a costume.
Yeah, blackface.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So
Man, that's
a
crazy.
lot of that, and that was the first time, you hear about racial things when you're growing up as a black
Hmm.
person, and how you should carry yourself, things you should say, should not say, all the things.
Hmm.
But when you go through it yourself, and that being my first time that I experienced it more
Hmm.
personally, and then also being like a child, like when you're in high school, you think you're grown, but you're really not. Like, so
Not at all.
being a child navigating those things, I think that was one of the biggest obstacles
Hmm.
that I'm proud of myself for overcoming.
Mm. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's yeah, I've
Yeah,
been through something similar to that, and it's not fun um, at all. Um, One that's very sensitive for one, and it's definitely not the right thing to do. So hopefully they got in trouble for that, or some kind of suspension or expulsion or something from that. Because yeah, that's not a cool thing to do.
yeah,
But you get some people that's taught to do those things, and so it's very unfortunate. Um, this is the last, I guess, Kool-Aid questions we could say.
okay.
Who do you consider to be the most impactful person in your life?
I would say at the moment, my husband,
Hmm.
um, just because like partnership is everything, and having a person that helps you navigate all of the ebbs and flows of life, the highs and the lows.
Hmm.
Um, Knowing that you have that built-in partner is everything, and so I think, yeah, it would be him. Yeah,
Mm. For the people that don't know your husband, what is his name?
his name is Dan Davis. He actually has a channel himself where he does
Hmm.
like a Christian channel called Overt FM, Overt Faith
Hmm.
Ministries, where he teaches the Bible practically, um, in everyday life. Like, how does it look walking out
Hmm.
the Word of God? That's him, Dan Davis. Yeah, that's my guy.
Yes. And then for the ones that haven't checked out his content, you should definitely go do that. Like, don't do it now because we've got his wife. But after she gets, go check out his content and definitely
Absolutely.
subscribe and share, and also subscribe to her channel and share it out to the world as well. Um, but before you go, how do you balance the personal life with the musical life? Because both of them can be uh, time consuming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a juggle. I don't know that there will ever be like a perfect balance, but I try to
Mm-hmm.
just kind of um feed off of both of them, in a sense, like, a lot of stuff that the music inspires. I'm sorry, a lot of stuff that um inspires me musically are things
Mm-hmm.
that come from my everyday life. And so,
Mm-hmm.
I could be playing with my son, or I could be talking to my husband about a deep conversation, and it triggers, oh, that could be like a lyric in a song, or that could be, the title of something. So, in those ways, I try to infuse the two. As far as balancing, when it comes to like music, I have to really just set schedules and set times. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is the time I'm going to the studio. When I
Mm-hmm.
did He Won't Fail, because I still have my family that I do music with whenever I was
Mm-hmm.
back in Tallahassee. So my
Mm-hmm.
producer, Backpack Beats, he's currently in
Yeah.
Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And then the place that I record, that's with
Mm-hmm.
Outlaw Beats in Tallahassee. And
Mm-hmm.
so recently I went to was headed to a concert in Atlanta, and I stopped through Tallahassee. I said, "Hey, I'm this close to Tallahassee because I still record there. I'm this
Mm-hmm.
close to Tallahassee. I'm passing by Tallahassee. I'm gonna get a session in." And so that's what I did to record He Won't Fail, but really just making that time, setting
Mm-hmm.
that time apart for music, outside of family and personal, because if you don't, really family and personal will consume all of your time. So just
Indeed.
kind of having that set time and set schedule, planning. And if I know I want to release something at a certain time, like I'm looking at the calendar and I'm planning out, hey, at this on this date I'm scheduling my sessions and all those things,
Mm-hmm.
so that everybody knows and it's very clear that this is the time set for music. Apart
Mm-hmm.
from that, it's just kind of like the ebbing and flowing of them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, I'm a foodie, so I like to eat. So, of course, you lived in Central Florida as well as North Florida. Who has the best food?
Oh, don't do that. I'm sorry. I love you, North Florida. I really do. But I'm so sorry. Central Florida, South Florida, they
Mm-hmm.
got the best. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It just, yeah.
I actually agree with you because you have more options in Central and South Florida. So I agree. I give you a pass with that one. And what are your top three restaurants?
Mm. Mm. Now, if it's just like a everyday, like we just really
Hmm.
just running in to get lunch or something like that, I love
Hmm.
me some Cheesecake Factory.
Okay, okay.
Um, I've been hooked on their Oreo cheesecake for
Yeah, that's pretty good.
years. Oh my gosh. Like I have not found nothing else like it. So yeah,
Hmm.
like a regular ordinary day Cheesecake Factory. Um, if it's fancy, a little bit more fancy, there's this place in Lakeland called Cattleman's, Texas Cattleman's
Yes.
Company.
Hmm.
They have the best steaks. Oh
Hmm.
my goodness. Tasty, tasty, love it. So I love that place.
Hmm.
And then what's my last one? Um,
Somebody come to Lakeland. Where you taking them?
well, we definitely going to Cattleman's.
Hmm.
Uh, Also, there's this we gonna go to the black neighborhood
Okay.
real quick, because we need to get us some good fried chicken, and we need to get us
Uh-huh.
gizzards and some chicken livers and all of that. So we're gonna head over to Country Chicken and Fish. Yeah,
All right.
we gonna take
Actually,
you to Country Chicken and Fish and get you
mhm.
right. Hmm.
And for the people that don't know, they got some good stuff down there. Cause I had that before, and it was
Hmm.
it may put you to sleep too. It give you the itis a little bit too.
It will give you the itis, but you'll be good and fed. Yeah.
Yes, indeed, indeed. And then, what else should we expect from Jocelyn this year?
You should be expecting a lot of things. In my testimony video, I informed everyone, which
Hmm.
is again, I urge you to go look at the full video.
Hmm.
But one of the things that I mentioned is that I quit the 9 to 5 to pursue
Hmm.
entrepreneurship full time. So
Hmm.
I'm in new territory
Hmm.
altogether, and so
Indeed,
I would just say, like, stay tuned. There's a lot of different things that God is still fine tuning. I'm definitely grateful for this opportunity to be able to talk to you on this platform.
likewise.
And so, yeah, I would just say keep it locked on my socials, on
Hmm.
YouTube. Really just focus and honing in on growing those things and venturing out to do different things entrepreneurial wise.
Hmm.
There is some devotionals that I want to get into. when I lived in Atlanta. I had a
Hmm.
hair care line that was super successful, and I want
Nice.
to do like a relaunch of that. Just a lot of
Hmm.
different things to come. So I would say keep it locked to all the socials.
And then for the few people that don't follow you already, like what is your social media handles? One, two, how can they still seed into your ministry?
So all of the socials is at I Heart Jossie. So that's I and Heart is HART, like I artist name.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I Heart Jossie, IHARTJOCEY. That's on YouTube, that's on TikTok, that's on Instagram. How they can sow a seed into my oh. So I don't have anything set up just yet.
Okay.
But I think even a seed can just be sharing. Share the
Mm-hmm.
song. If you watch one of my videos on YouTube and it inspires you or blesses you in any way, share the video. If you
Mm-hmm.
listen to one of my songs and you just like the vibe, share it. If you listen to one of my songs and it really ministers to you, share it. Follow, like, comment. Girl, I'll comment back. Bro, I comment back. So I think beyond seeds like money, just engaging and sharing, not just keeping things to yourself. Sometimes we get blessed by certain things and then we just kind of hold on to it. But
Yeah.
share it. That's how you can sow a seed. Share
She didn't mention it, but also download it too, y'all.
and
Don't
download. Yeah. Hmm.
because independent artists 99% of the time they uh doing everything. They paying for the production, they're paying for the songwriting, the studio time, all these different things, marketing. So definitely download it so they can see at least some of that money back.
Yeah.
Um, and of course, how can the promoters book you for events?
You can email me at iheartjossie@gmail.com.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm open to doing events. I'm open to doing collabs, all the things. Like I said, we're entering into new territory, the
Mhm.
entrepreneurship world. So I am open to all things.
And when promoters book you for events, what should they expect to get from you?
Oh, some good live music. We're gonna have a
Okay.
good band. We're gonna have a good time. You
Hmm.
know, we back in Tallahassee, I used to do all types of events from weddings to
Hmm.
corporate events, like all types of things. So
Hmm.
whatever you need, there can be adjustments in this. It's
Hmm.
more than likely something that I've already done in the past. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
All right. Well, we have come to the end. So, would you like to do us the honor of introducing "He Won't Fail"?
Absolutely.
All right.
So this next song that you will hear is my single "He Won't Fail." This was produced from suffering and learning to suffer well and understanding that God will never fail. He is faithful and will always remain faithful. You are about to hear, you're listening to "He Won't Fail" by Jocelyn Hart.
All right, guys. It's coming up right about now.